Good day, viewers. Today, I'll be taking you chemistry on the topic writing chemical formula of inorganic compound. My name is Mr. Akole Samuel. All right. Now, to start with, we talking about the definition of chemical formula. So, chemical formula is a convenient way of representing or showing which elements are present in the compound and number of atoms of each element in that compound. So it uses symbols and numbers. The symbols are the one representing the element, while the number represents the number of atoms in that compound. So how to write the chemical formula? There are some key concepts we need to know, which are the symbol of element. The symbol of element, of course, represent the convenient way of representing atom of an element in a compound or in a chemical reaction. So they are in letters. So you can pick the first letters and a letter and another letter, which happens to be the small letter, you can see example here, hydrogen, example we represent it with capital letter H, 5 calcium, capital letter C, and small letter A. Then some element can pick symbols from their Latin name. For example, sodium. So which is Latin name is natrium. So it is Na. Alright, another concept that we need to look at is the radical. So radicals are group of atoms carrying positive or negative charge. Group of atoms carrying positive or negative charge. For example, we have NO3 minus, CO3 2 minus, SO4 2 minus, OH minus, NH4 plus. So these are not compound, they are radicals. They are different from when you have CO2. So this is a compound, and this is what radicals, because they carry what charge on them, while this has no charge. Alright, we move to the next. Inorganic naming. In inorganic naming in inorganic compound, there is need for us to understand some concepts. What are mono? Mono simply means one. Di means two. Tri means three. Tetra means four. So these are used to number the to know the number of atoms of oxygen present in an inorganic compound. Now, oxygen is named as oxo in inorganic compound. So we use letter O, capital letter O to represent it. So you will see it how it is used when we come to what some examples. Alright, the next one is valency. So valency is the combining power of an element. The combining power of an element is valency. So the valency. So we have different types. We have some that are univalent elements, those that have what? Only singular valency. We have those that are trivalent elements. They are elements that has more than one element, that is double valencies. So also we have trivalent, those elements that has what? Three valencies. Three valencies. Then we also have tetra, those that have four valencies. Alright. So for example, we have sodium. The valency of sodium here is what? 1. While the valency of this radical CO3 2 minus is 2. So now, one thing I want you to remember is that the valency of radical is usually the charge of that radical. For example, now CO3 2 minus. So this is what the valency of the radical. Also, calcium Ca, the valency is 2. Chlorine, the valency is 1. Aluminum, the valency is what? Is 3. Now, what are the next steps in writing this chemical formula? Step number 1 is identify the element and the radical involved in the name given to us. So we need to identify the element and the radical that is present in the name given to us. Number 2, identify the symbols of the element. The element that you have seen in the name, you have to identify it, and the radical as well. Then the next, identify the valences of the element and the radical. So we identify the valency of the element and the radical. So these are the things I've mentioned earlier, that they are the key concepts in writing chemical formula of a compound. Alright, the next is combine their valences. The valences of elements are combined, or the radicals, they are combined to form the chemical formula of inorganic compound. Then after that, you write the what? The formula. Now let's take this example. Write the chemical formula. 1. Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride. How do we write the chemical formula of sodium chloride? That is very easy by following these steps. Step number 1. Identify the element and the radical involved. In this now, let us identify the element. We have the sodium, we also have the chloride, which stands for chlorine. So the next thing is what? Is the symbol. What's the symbol of the element that has been identified? The symbol of sodium is Na, the symbol of chlorine is Cl. The next is identify the valences of the element and the radical. So what is the valency of this element? We have 1. The valency of this is also 1. The next is to combine their valences. So meaning that the valency of this will be cross to this, the valency of this will be cross to this, which will give us NaCl. So it must be written in a correct symbolic form of that element. Capital letter N and small letter A, capital letter C and small letter L. Let's move further to another level that is greater than this in the calculation. So let's look at this. Calcium trioxocarbonate. So this is a little bit advanced than the Western one. Now, calcium trioxocarbonate. So the first thing is to identify the element and the radical. So what is the element there? We have this element which is the calcium. The next, we have what? We have the radical, which is the trioxocarbonate. Trioxocarbonate is the radical. Now, after you have done that, the next is to what? What is the symbol of that element? That's why it's very, very essential to know the symbol of all the elements before you start working on this. Alright, the symbol of calcium is Ca, capital A, C, and small letter A. What about the symbol of what? Trioxocarbonate. Earlier I've explained what tri means. So that is what? 3. And also we use symbol of oxygen to represent also in inorganic compound, which is what? Capital letter O. Then carbonate, that comes from carbon. So that is capital letter C. Alright, the next after that is the valency of the element and the radical. So what is the valency of this element? Calcium, these 2. The valency of trioxocarbonate is also 2. So we are having 2 here, we also have 2 here. So what do? We what? Reduce it to 1. 2 here, 1. 2 here, 1. So the next is to combine their valency. Let's combine the valency. The valency of this will cross to this. The valency of this will combine with this also. Then we have CaCO3. So 1 multiplied by this radical, that is all the elements here, will also give us the same thing. 1 multiplied by anything will give us that thing. So let's go to the next. The next is aluminum hydroxide. Following our steps. So number 1, identify the element. The element there we have aluminum. The radical we have hydroxide. What is the symbol of the element? We have aluminum Al and the radical. What is the symbol of the radical there? Which is the hydroxide? OH. Capital letter O and capital letter H. So the next after this recognition of the symbol or identification of the symbol is to identify the valency. What is the valency of aluminum? The valency of aluminum is 3. While the valency of hydroxide is 1. So the next after that is to combine their valencies. So let us combine the valency. That is the valency of this will cross to this, and the valency of this will also cross to this, which will give us A open bracket OH. So bracket 2. You need to open the bracket because the 3 must affect the OH, not only as in writing it this way, I discover many students used to write this way. It is wrong because this is a radical. So they are standing as one. So the three must affect the OH. Alright. So I would like you to do this for me. Do this. Do this. Write the chemical formula. Number one, calcium chloride. Two, sodium triazoocarbonate. So I'll be expecting your feedback on this. Thank you. You are blessed.